Tool, now in a brand new pack.
That's right, Ewan. From the 20th to the 26th of June is South African Epilepsy Awareness Week. It is a disease that actually affects more than 50 million people worldwide, and 1% of people will develop epilepsy. And we are here to talk to Andre du Plessis about it, to find out, how you can help it, what can you do in your life to try and kind of prevent it if you can. But let's first try and understand, Andrea, what is epilepsy?
Well, it's a nervous system disorder characterized by seizures or convulsions. So that would be involuntary muscle contractions. And it's only diagnosed after the first seizure, and there are different types also, but effectively, like I said, after the first seizure, then it's diagnosed, and then obviously it's managed through medication.
Yeah. And how's it caused, though? I mean, if you're only able to diagnose it after the first seizure, how is it caused?
In some cases, it's unknown. Sometimes there's a family history, and it can also be triggered by a brain injury.
So now we're talking about a nervous system disorder, so nutritionally, what would you be looking at to help your nervous system to remain intact and in order in that regard?
You see, if whether you suffer with epilepsy or not, it's important to take the right nutrients to feed your nerve cells and your brain cells. And yesterday we spoke about motor neuron disease.
Yes.
And what comes up every time with the nervous system is omega fatty acids, especially the omega-3 fatty acids, because they feed the nerve cells. Omega-3 actually forms part of your nerve and brain cells.
Okay.
And it's interesting with epilepsy because you get the omega-3, omega-6 and omega-9 fatty acids. And they've seen that it's better for somebody with epilepsy to have a higher intake of omega-3 fatty acids and to try and avoid too much omega-6.
Okay.
So that's something really important. So if you look at nutritional supplements, for instance, to ingest your healthy fats, then an omega-3 product would be the best one for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we're looking at food now, because I mean, obviously we eat a lot more than we do anything else, or hopefully we should be.
Yes.
I should actually do that more. But what are the kinds of foods we should be looking to eat?
Well, if you look at the nutrients that provide support for the nervous system, omega-3 fatty acids we get from oily fish, walnuts, flax seeds, linseeds, that's the same thing. And then B vitamins, very important, also that we find in a variety of fresh fruits and vegetables, also in whole grain cereals, eggs, milk, meats, fish, etc. And then also coenzyme Q10. And now that's a nutrient which is quite interesting. There's some preliminary evidence that shows how a higher intake of coenzyme Q10 that we get from lean meats and fish can also help in the nutritional management of epilepsy. But we would never suggest that as a treatment by itself. If you have epilepsy, you need to go and see the doctor and get the proper medication prescribed.
Indeed. And we had some questions asked on Facebook.
That's right.
One coming from Alison Esteres, and she says, is there any food we should avoid, especially when taking, I think it's epinephrine?
Epinephrine, yes, that's a medication that helps to prevent the convulsions. Alcohol is the one food group or category that definitely needs to be avoided if you take that medication, but there aren't any other specific foods that you need to avoid.
Yeah, okay. And then another one coming from Andisa Wendy Matema says, my mother suffers from epilepsy and also high blood pressure, and now most recently diabetes. My question is, what type of food can she eat that would be beneficial to her and her illness without putting herself in danger? As she has diabetes, she shouldn't go hungry, but she has to lose weight because she also has high cholesterol. So a very complex case.
That is so complex. I would definitely say the first port of call there would be to visit a registered dietitian. So being a registered dietitian, you're medically trained to understand all those different conditions and to devise a meal plan according to that, and also to make sure that all the correct medical treatments are involved. So we can put on the Expresso website the Dietetic Association's website address, and that way you can find a dietitian in your area.
And then just very quickly also, because we always speak about the nutrition you should take, what about those you should avoid when you are suffering from epilepsy?
The nutritional supplements, omega-6 fatty acids, definitely. And there's also a question mark about ginkgo biloba. You know, that's that herbal remedy that people take for memory and concentration. So that's something to look at. But to come back to that question, actually, for that individual, definitely I would say regular meals, small regular meals, low GI foods to help with sustained energy release. One of the things that can trigger epilepsy is also low blood sugar. So if you have diabetes, your blood sugar tends to go high. With medication, you try to control it. But one should monitor your blood sugar levels regularly then especially in the light of diabetes and epilepsy, to make sure that it stays in that safe zone.
Yes. All right, Andrea, thank you very, very much for your insights. Really appreciate it, as always. And of course, if you have any more questions, you're very, very welcome to ask them on Andrea's Facebook page, Andrea Du Plessis, Vital Expert. Thank you very much. Now, it's getting hot in here. Liesel is chilling with one of FHM's 100 sexiest women in the world.
Vital, now in a brand new pack.
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.